Right now on ABC 21 Morning News, the family of a National Guardsman from Fort Wayne trying to come to grips with his sudden death over the weekend while he was preparing to deploy overseas.
And a slight thaw in the relations between North and South Korea. Diplomats meet at the border, and the North agrees to send athletes to next month's Winter Olympics.
From WPTA, your weather authority, this is ABC 21 Morning News.
Good morning, I'm Emily Dwyer.
And I'm Sam Bauman. It is a Tuesday morning. As you're stepping out the door today, you don't need to give yourself quite as much time as yesterday, maybe.
Yeah, nothing too crazy that would throw a wrench there in the morning commute. It's so nice to go out and not have your car struggle to start and then have to, dust it off and everything. Just kind of easy going today.
It is easy going, and we're joined by David Stradling. Like you had just said a little bit ago, it was pretty mild yesterday, but a messy mild.
A messy mild, that's a good way to put it. I like
Thanks,
that.
yeah.
But we're looking at not as messy today, looking pretty nice. Many of the roads are looking fine, but there is some light patchy fog to deal with this morning. About a 4-mile visibility in Auburn, Fort Wayne, and Huntington. 3 miles towards Marion, 2.5 in Warsaw. With temperatures right around freezing or a little below. Some of that could be freezing to some surfaces, so it may make for a slick spot here or there, but I don't expect any widespread problems this morning. Do be careful, though, as you're heading out. Some of those wet spots from the snow that melted yesterday could be black ice. Now, as we look at the winds here, about 5 to 15 miles per hour, making it feel like the low to mid-20s. So even though it says it's in the 30s, it's still a little chilly today. We're only going to be getting up to about 34 later this afternoon. We'll be mostly cloudy throughout the entire day today, but we have some rain and possibly some snow to talk about. I'll detail that coming up.
I'll tell you what, David, a very busy week for you.
Very busy indeed.
All right, keeping it interesting. Thanks, David. Well, our top story this morning, family members of a National Guardsman, Mark Bonner, are still grieving today after word this weekend that the Fort Wayne native had died suddenly at a Texas military base.
ABC 21's Jeff Newmeyer has more on a death notification with a painful, ironic twist.
43-year-old Sergeant First Class Mark Bonner, a father and grandfather, recently had gotten word he and about 250 other Indiana National Guard troops were being deployed to Kuwait. Sister Tammy Boney and her husband drove her brother to the Armory for the trip to Fort Hood in Texas in preparation for deployment. It was going to be his third tour of duty with the Guard, and he relished the assignment.
And texted us on Friday afternoon at 20 after 2 to say he was in Texas, and that was the last we heard from him.
There's been no official cause of death released, but family's been led to believe he died of a heart attack. Brother Steve Bonner worked third shift Friday night at his job and had come home to sleep when the military passed on news that rocked them to the core.
My wife had to come in the room and wake me up after about an hour's sleep and told me, and was just in shock.
Bonner's siblings naturally had some trepidation in knowing their brother was headed overseas to serve in harm's way.
You just don't expect at 43, you have in the back of your mind when they get deployed that something could happen, but not while they're here, still.
Right,
So.
in the preparation
Right,
phase of it all.
right.
Sergeant Bonner had picked up a handful of awards during his military service, but it's something family members say he really never talked about much.
He earned the Combat Action Badge, Iraq Campaign Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, and 2 Army Commendation Medals. But Sergeant Bonner kept it all low profile.
He never bragged. He never boasted what he did. Obviously, I'm sure there's security issues there as well, but he never went into great detail of everyday military life with us. That was just what he did.
Bonner is a father of a 7-year-old daughter and an adult daughter living in Illinois. He will be honored at a full military funeral to be held later this week. Jeff Newmeyer, ABC 21.
Now, again, as Jeff had said, there has been no official ruling from the military on the cause of death there for Sergeant Bonner.
However, the family members that we talked to have told us that they're thinking it was likely a heart attack. Very sad.
Yep.
Well, moving on here this morning, the investigation is still underway into the murder of 2 teens in Delphi about 11 months ago. But police are downsizing their operation now. The investigators in the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German plan to move their headquarters back to Delphi City Hall. They'd moved to a larger building just last year. According to Indiana State Police, they don't need as much space anymore. The move is slated for February 13th, which will be the first anniversary of the day the girls vanished. The telephone tip line, by the way, is still open, so anybody with any information that could help the investigation can call 844-459-5786. And a young girl from Eastern Allen County who was shot in the head with a BB gun last week has died. 8-year-old Deborah Schwartz of Grable was shot with a BB last Thursday at a home on Bricker Road. Police say it appears the shooting wasn't